We're okay.
He runs his paws over the cat's skeleton with long, methodical strokes. Sometimes his fingers curl, as if he's forgotten that Quercus's fur is long gone.
Shh, don't cry. We got out. We made it. We're safe. They can't get us here. The Knights will never hurt us again, Quercus. I promise. Quercus, after all the shield has done, do you think it's time? Yes. Yes, I think so too. The story belongs to us both, and by now the shield deserves to know the truth.
The squirrel looks up and meets your eyes for the first time. Small, shining beads take you in.
We have traveled some time together, Shield. There were times when I very nearly lost heart. My research, so much of it has led to naught. At times, I fear I am no closer to stopping the acorn than when I started. But you have been relentless. When I felt I might falter, you sallied forward. You and Quercus have given me strength when mine waned. You deserve to know the truth. The reason I know so much about the Knights of Dre, the reason I'm the one who needs to stop them. Well, I was one of their order once. I was an acolyte of the great acorn. I saw dwarves tear down my forest, turning my home into weapons of war. I saw humans launching great orbs of fire into the homes of my friends. I saw lizards shackling the citizens of the land with harnesses and whips. The great acorn would stop you all for good. At least, that's what I thought then. I believed in the cause of the great acorn. I believed the Knights of Dre were righteous in their quest. But they proved themselves zealots, heartless.
He runs his paws along Quercus's bony head and scritches the space behind his ear. Quercus rattles a dry, contented purr.
Quercus was once a beautiful, burnished orange, long of hair, green of eye, so soft of tread he could stalk through a thicket of dry thorns without disturbing a single one. That was before the Knights of Dre decided they executed him. Squirrels alone shall reap the great acorn's blessings, they said. It's unnatural to associate with other species, they said. So, they killed him. My friend. It was then I knew that they'd gone too far. It was then that I realized what I had been party to. It took every last bit of magic I had gathered to bring him back. Then we ran. I just wanted to find a safe den where we could hide together, but...
The squirrel sits quietly for a moment, running his hand down the cat's spine. Quercus arches his back and flexes his claws.
But Quercus said we could do more. He said we should push on.
The cat leans into your palm, rubbing against you, and only a quick act of acrobatics stops Solora from being knocked off. The squirrel throws his hands up in indignity, but you can see a quiet smile spreading underneath his whiskers.
What a bevy of misfits we are! Though I suppose it is best to fit badly in a world gone mad. Fear not, Shield. I will discover how to stop the great acorn. I will protect the creatures of this land, all of them, from the Knights. With Quercus at my side, with you at my side, I know I will not fail.
Not many things I can fetch around here, but who cares, eh? Look at this place.
The day was lost, and no one won. Divinity is still up for grabs. Will you be the one to grab it? I do so wonder. Naught but the demon I'm hunting. A trivial task, I did. She's quite graciously taking us to demon-haunted arcs. Our pursuits align and continue.
I thought you'd forgotten about me, darling.
Almira gives you a devilish grin and traces her finger along your forearm.
I had a feeling you'd be one to watch, my dear. I'm glad to hear my faith wasn't misplaced.
All this commotion hasn't made it any easier for me to restore anathema. The fewer distractions, the better. My efforts continue. I must admit it's quite an intricate piece to work with, even for someone like myself. I remain confident of success, though.
After all that's just happened, life, every flawed morsel of it, seems more precious to you than ever. You look around at those who have accompanied you so far. In each one, something unique shines through. Divinity has eluded you so far, but humanity beats strong within you, here and now. Who knows what lies ahead for you, for your companions? Your quest failed. The void is growing stronger, and the hall is dark. You feel the need for some affection. Perhaps they feel it too.
Alone? Together? You and me? I love that. Lead the way, Chief.
As you move to go below decks, the live wood creaks and groans. The steps you thought you knew lead you to a part of the ship you've never seen before. A newly carved nook that smells of resin and wood chips. Touching the wall beneath your fingers, the live wood hums at your touch. You understand that the Lady Vengeance has carved this space for you in gratitude for your help. You enter and feel the presence of the ship recede, offering you the total privacy of a moment alone with your companion. The first moment you have been truly alone together.
Would you get a load of this place?
She saunters around the room, inspecting it like she plans to move in. She tosses her head over her shoulder and calls out to you in an affected tone.
I suppose it will do, darling.
Her face cracks into a smile, then a laugh.
So, what should we do? Wait, don't answer that.
She digs into her pack, skipping over to you, and sits on the ground at your feet, then tugs your hand for you to sit on the ground too. She sets an empty bottle on the ground between you and looks at you impishly.
Let's play a game.
Don't worry, it's easy. It's called Spout's Choice. We each take a turn spinning this here bottle, and whoever the spout points to, well, I'll explain that part when we get there. You can go first.
She takes your hand and places it on the bottle, on its side between you.
Go on, spin.
The bottle swishes in circles as it spins. Lohse watches it intently as it lands, pointing directly at her. She smiles and blushes.
Well, in this game, you're meant to plant one on whoever the bottle lands on.
She flutters her eyelashes in exaggerated coquettishness, her blush deepening. She kisses you back, gently, more gently than you expected, then leans away, flushed with color.
My... My turn.
She spins the bottle, and it twirls and twirls, and comes to a rest, pointing into a no-man's land to the left of your knee. She doesn't lift her eyes from the bottle, but quickly corrects it to face you. She looks up then, drawing an arc with her eyes from the bottle's tip to your gaze. Her dark eyes are deeper, lusher than ever before.
Hey, Chief.
She crawls across the space between you and climbs into your lap, wrapping her legs around you. She melts into you and nuzzles her face into the crook of your neck. Her body is warm, warmer than it should be, her weight comforting and solid against you. She speaks into your neck, her lips brushing against your skin.
Chief, look, I don't know what's gonna happen from here on out. I don't know if we'll find Dallas. I don't know which one of us is gonna, you know, all the stuff they say we'll do. I don't even know if I'm still gonna be myself much longer. But I do know that I'm happier now than I've ever been in my life. You make me feel like I have a voice. Like I'm not just a host. Like I'm a real person. I need to tell you something. The thing is, well, you know, when two people get to know each other pretty well, it's just, I love you.
Suddenly, you feel the thud, thud, thud of her heart hammering against her chest and into yours.
I love you too. I love you too. I love you too.
One tear streams out of the corner of her eye as she breaks into a fit of laughter and throws herself forward, knocking you to the ground, her whole body wrapped around yours.
Oh, I've wanted you for so long. I've wanted you like this for so long.
She grins and takes your chin softly in her hand, parting your lips. She comes close to your mouth, so close, then licks your lips, once, twice, and kisses you softly, soft as your first time, then harder, deeper, her tongue swirling around yours. She tugs at your clothes and growls in your ear.
Get these off.
She nips and kisses newly exposed flesh all over your body, running her mouth from your neck to your belly button, down to your shins, up to your thighs.
Oh, that is one beautiful woman.
She sits up on her knees, still straddling your hips, and shimmies out of every last article of clothing. Her body is smooth and soft, flesh dipping generously beneath your hands. You could take handful after handful of her and never have enough.
Here I am, all of me, and I want all of you.
She moves her body slowly, slowly, slowly over yours, until you are one person, the surprise of it, the perfection of it making you both gasp. She moves in small circles, your bodies joined like they were made for each other, like they were never meant to be apart.
Oh, you're perfect. You're perfect.
She covers your hands with hers, guides them to places that make her exhale sharply, her eyelids fluttering. She keeps a gentle pace, then begins moving faster, harder, sweat glistening on her collarbone.
Like this?
She keeps the pace, her eyes locked with yours, a half-drugged smile on her lips.
This is it. This is my cure. You're my cure.
You are one in the night, one great, beautiful being, your bodies aching with desire where they touch, your mind ablaze, your souls entwined, growing great, greater, greater, greater.
How could I have gone this long without you?
In this infinite moment, it feels you'll never be apart again. Losa yawns and stretches, arching her whole body like a cat. She folds into you, her head on your chest, arm draped around your body.
I'm gonna love you for the rest of my life, you know. However long that is. I sure hope so. But if it isn't, well, I meant what I said last night. I can't believe I went all these years without having that.
She looks up and down the length of your body.
In my life. If I have to give it all up and become some limping demon thrall tomorrow, well, let no one say it didn't end on a high note. So, I guess we should get back out there. Save the realm, stop the void, blah blah blah. You have no idea how much I needed that.
She plants a quick kiss on your lips and a bite on your neck.
Let's get out of here, Chief.
Spoken to Malady yet? She said to talk to the Lady Vengeance when we're ready to move on.
Hey up! I hear we're about ready to move out. I reckon you'll need to talk with the shiphead to summon Malady and let her know we're ready.
I will not fade. The sun shall find me. She will set her loved one free.
Thane is busy scribbling in his ephemeral notebook. Sabile's spirit watches your approach like a spectator on a beach watches the waves roll in with a soothing inevitability.
There we have it, don't we, dear? The final die has been cast and it's come up wanting. I do not know what awaits. I do not see where the dark paths lead. Forsake me now. Go hence and give chase to your mortal desires. From death, let me be death.
whatever time you need to gather yourself, my friend. When you are ready, we can proceed.
Yes, I am sorry. She had me built to her exact designs. Not even I know all the ways in which she can control me. She was able to follow my wake like a shark, but I will see myself destroyed rather than be forced to betray you again. I swear.
It shall be done.
Melody's face is drawn. She seems tired, somewhat subdued. She looks you over and squints.
What's wrong with you? You seem happy. It's written all over you. In truth, I'm glad to see it. A joyful God is a just God. I've had some time to think, and there's a few matters I want to discuss before we carry on. I doubt you've forgotten the death of Meister Siva.
She swallows hard and closes her eyes for a moment, as though trying to dispel a dizzy spell.
She and I had a deal, you see. A deal that's now quite obviously defunct. According to its terms, I was to help you ascend to divinity, and she was to help me with another matter. The details aren't important now, it's just... never mind. Another entangling alliance. But I won't be able to disentangle it on my own. There may come a time when I need to count on you as an ally. So, are we? Allies, that is. The details are detailed. Suffice it to say that Meister Siva believed she could help me. And I believe you're twice the sorcerer she ever was. So? Imagine if I'd have said the same when Dallas was about to blow you to smithereens on the high seas. Moving on. I found out where Dallas is heading. There's a great city not far from Driftwood, Arx by name. It's controlled by Magisters, so you'll have your work cut out for you. We have to find out what she's planning to do with the powers of the Seven. You'll need to find her and take back what she stole, and quickly, before she does something irreversible. Dallas, or any of the others for that matter, cannot be allowed to use the powers of the gods. She doesn't understand what must be done. She doesn't understand how to rule. It's quite simple, really. Chaos is a fact of life, surer than any other. Power is one of the few structures that can cut a line through that chaos. If wielded well, that line will mean stability, order, a comfort against the unknowable, changing forces of chaos. If wielded poorly, the line will mean domination, terror, different from chaos, but no better. Dallas, and the others like her, Alexander, the Mother Tree, the Prince of Shadows, they are little better than demons, really. They seek power at the expense of others, not to create stability, but to create servants. Look at my face, Godwoken. What do you see? I suppose we all see what we want to see. When I look in the mirror, I see balance. Balance between darkness and light, between good and evil. Whatever those categories mean. When the time comes for you to ascend, remember my face. Remember that despite any shortcomings you might have, if you can bring a semblance of balance to the world, you'll have done as good as the Seven did. And if you can be stronger than them, you'll do all the better. The Seven are gone, slain by their Godwoken, slain by you. You have the potential, the obligation even, to do better than they did, to create a better world than the world they made. I know what evil is, Godwoken. I've seen what chaos can do. It isn't how I picture Rivellon's future. You are my insurance against that. Now, there's little time to spare. We need to get you to Arx, find Dallas, take back what she stole. Shall we go? Very good. How lucky for you I'm on your side. I'm probably the only one masterful enough to transport an entire ship safely between the land of the dead and the land of the living. Captain Malady stands at the ready.
After the briefest moment of respite, Malady brought the Godwoken to Arx to recover the divine powers Dallas had snatched away. But the half-demon secret was taking its toll on her.
Lucian! Fools! The bastard's going to ruin everything! Brace! 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 Don't say anything.
Malady groans, her face twisting in pain. She falls to one knee, catching herself on her hands. She raises one hand and raises herself to her feet.
Now, no need to fuss, I'll be fine. It's just that traveling between the realms isn't easy, you know? It takes something from my soul each time. But never you fear, I've pulled a clever trick out of my sleeve. The Lady Vengeance stands in two realms at once. A body here, a soul in the Hall of Echoes. You can still return at your leisure. At least I got us where we wanted to go. This is Arx. This is where Dallas has fled with the powers of the gods. This is where the path to divinity leads. Dallas must be stopped. She has stolen the powers of the Seven. You'll need to get the Aetherin back if you're to fight the God King. You'll need it if you're to ascend. Track her in Arx. Find out where she's gone and end her. Take back the Aetherin and the powers of the gods with it. You cannot fail, Godwoken. Not for anything.
Hey, Chief. Before we get a move on, I'd like a word with Malady. You mind? Psst. Hey, Mals. I'm not, feeling so hot.
I should think not. The demon is getting closer to himself. You'll meet him in Arx soon enough, and if you meet him like this, it's bye-bye Losa. We won't let that happen, will we? I've got a little something cooking. There's power in names, after all. And we know exactly who Adramalik is. Don't worry. I'll find you before it's too late. Demon's honor.
Oh, Quercus. She might have been a butchered tree, but she still made a noble home. And now our nest is gone. We cannot hide in their barren hall of echoes. We cannot idly wait for fate to take us. There's only one thing left to do.
Solora looks up to you, then back to Quercus. His whiskers twitch.
We must fight! Onward, Quercus! Onward, shield! Until the great acorn drops, there's still hope! Ho!
I'm growing soft, aren't I? Don't have many more of those on my sleeve. many more of those on my sleeve. I'm growing soft, aren't I? Growing soft, aren't I? These Godwoken are going to be the death of me. Hurry along now. You'll need to find Dallas before it's too late. Take care of yourself, Godwoken. I may not always be there to do it for you.
Not the finest of landings, though I suppose our dear vessel did well enough, given it's not exactly in its natural habitat. At least I can still access all of my tools in the Hall of Echoes. I wouldn't relish the prospect of scouring through all this wreckage to find what I need. Why work, of course? Anathema won't restore itself, I dare say. I shall finish what I started, aboard whatever remains of the Lady Vengeance in the Hall of Echoes. Come and find me later in the Hall of Echoes. I believe I'm rather close to having Anathema in working order.
The final voyage of the Lady Vengeance. She served us well.
The big acorn has come! The prophecy has been fulfilled! Did you feel its power as it fell from the sky?
Quackers! Do you think they recognized us?
The big acorn has come from the sky! It will wash away our enemies in one big flood wave! All hail the acorn!
Now that the big acorn is here, the squirrels will inherit the realm! Bow before me, slave!
Lucian the Divine, standing guard over Arx. He's been slacking off by the look of... There, in the harbour! The Kraken! A child's prayer left here. Dear Lucine, ask Mommy to stop crying.
More two legs.
Why must you crowd our woods? Go be with your own kind.
Death fog below. A prayer from a pilgrim. Mighty ocean, grant me wealth and power.
I come for prayer and penitence. Instead, I find waste. Do you see anything?
Oh, please tell me if you see Voidwoken. They overrun the city already.
Pilgrims. Probably here for Lucian's Day.
Excuse me, have you word from the city? I heard the paladins inside have overthrown the Magisters. How can that be? And if it is, who's in charge of Fort Joy? I don't know. Maybe the Paladins have finally had enough of this clampdown. The Magisters will just go and lock up anybody. That wasn't Lucian's way, was it? My brother's just been sent there. I don't understand it. There's a prison here in Arx. Why send him so far away? I just need to plead his case. To Dallis herself, if I'm able. Or to whoever's in charge now. He's a sweet lad. He doesn't belong there. But I'll sort it out, that's for certain. Another card?
I came all the way from Driftwood, but I never expected to get stuck like this.
Goods for sale here.
The statue reaching the bottom drops out.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant you all right, stranger. I heard a huge crash in the mountains earlier. Maybe thunder, maybe Voidwoken. Don't go wandering alone now. There's no telling what you'll find. Whites? Sure. Just before they lock the city gates. They say Dallis herself is inside the city walls. But I hear there's something up, too. Trouble between them and the Paladins. Of course, once the Voidwoken landed, that were the only thing on anyone's lips. Lucian's Day. Got a few prayers of my own that need answering. But these days, who don't?
You come to the city, I suppose. Like the rest of us. Whatever your purpose in Arx, you may be disappointed. I want to visit Lucian's shrine to find answers. But perhaps it is a fool's errand. I do not expect to hear his voice. But I meditate. I look upon his disciples. I take in his resting place. Perhaps the answers come. Peace, too. And perhaps not. This is the chance I take.
I must have breathed in some of that death fog. Oh, my lungs ache. And I can't see straight.
The woman's upper lip twitches, and her chest heaves with each God-fearing utterance to the heavens.
Lucian, I pray thee absolve my sins and find me worthy. The time of reckoning is upon us. The hall awaits only the chosen. May the death fog cleanse me as it cleanses the land and waters.
She shoots you a frenzied glance.
He has told me his plan. Lucian will not wash our sins away with water or fire, but with death fog. The true faithful will bathe in the fog of their own accord, and he will reward them with eternal bliss. It spreads even now, just below. I am ready to prove my loyalty.
She trails off, and her eyes flit upwards, as if listening to a voice only she can hear.
I feel awful.
I can't believe that I made it all the way here just to get locked out of Arx. Never missed a Lucian's Day in my life. Until now. You'll see why I'm sore if you get to hear the endless prayer at the cathedral.
A prayer note. Blessed Lucian, help me find true love.
Ah, hello. Please, if you're in need of supplies, now's the time to stock up. There's no telling where you'll find another trader, such as things are.
Me too.
You'll have to forgive my limited stock. The incident in the harbor was... well, I was lucky to escape with my life, much less anything to sell. Voidwoken. I was taking inventory of the stock I brought to sell in Arx when the harbor was suddenly overrun. It was... horrible.
Jehan strokes his chin as he surveys the pilgrim camp. He notices you approach, turns, and smiles his stern smile.
A bit of a choppy re-entry, wasn't it? Sorry I couldn't be there to greet you, but time is limited. The doctor will know of the crash soon enough. I need to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can.
He swings a backpack over his shoulder. It's filled to the brim with potions, grenades, and magical charms.
Sadly, these pilgrims have no useful news. So, off to the city I go. Time to rid it of its demon. That's very kind of you. But I have my own battles to wage, and you... well, you have yours, don't you? Divinity eludes you still. But I've the feeling it won't elude you much longer. Think about what it means to become a god. Prove worthy of it. Do good.
A firm handshake, and he's off.
So the hunt commences once more. May the Seven be on our side.
Lucian?
spotted something.
Seems the life expectancy of Magisters gets shorter and shorter.
The Magister spirit dashes along the foliage beneath the battlements, nearing the bridge. There is a cry from behind. The spirit glances back. Her gaze follows something tumbling from the battlements to the undergrowth. There is the thump of an impact. She continues running. She sprints onto the bridge, but then something grabs her ankle and hoists her into the air upside down. Her screams are drowned out by a monstrous roar.
Woken.
Do not fall amid the fray, paladins! Face them to the last!
ready.
I read about someone matching your description in the latest dispatch. And now there'll be another tale about you for our war owls to whistle across the four corners of Rivellon.
Pursing her bruised lips, Captain Oral glares up at the carrion birds circling the bloody remains of her men that litter the entrance to Arx. She sighs heavily.
You took care of business too late for my crew, though. All my best paladins are dead, whether by the hands of the Magisters or the claws of the Voidwoken.
The captain sobers and curls her lip at the Voidwoken corpses nearby. She spits a bloody tooth in the direction of the closest one.
Not as sorry as I am. It kills me to lose good men, no matter how good the cause we're fighting. But they died holding up paladin ideals, against Magisters and against Voidwoken. Could be worse. At least Arx is now under the control of Lord Kem. After your communique, he instigated investigations into every Magister in the city. We're sure it's the collusion between the Magisters and the Black Ring that drew the Voidwoken here. To think they blamed all sorcerers. The only question remaining is why. The Magisters have a lot to answer for. Those left alive, that is. Obviously. Take care. I doubt this is quite the city you were expecting to find.
What's this? I found something.
The statue reaches toward the sky. The bottom drops out from...
Did you know Malady taught me how to sneak out of here, even though we're in the Hall of Echoes? So I can still get some things for you, if you want. Of course. Told you I would, didn't I? Sure thing. I'll...
Hopefully Lucian will...
My life, oh Lucian. Please return.
Need of something, traveler? If the harbor's anything to go by, you don't want to venture out unprepared.
I pledge my life to Lucian. Please return.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
In need of something, traveler? If the harbor's anything to go by, you don't want to venture out unprepared.
Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing. Another card?
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
In need of something, traveler? If the harbor's anything to go by, you don't want to venture out unprepared.